Hey guys, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. It is your girl Rimby and welcome to the Purpose Talk. I hope you had a beautiful Easter. Thank you so much for tuning in to my last video. Today I'm going to be talking about why you still have not found your purpose, or why you might know what your purpose is, but you're not operating within your purpose. Every single motivational speaker that I know, every single motivational book that I did tells you need to operate in your purpose. It tells you need to figure out your purpose, and once you figure out your purpose, your life is just going to be like boom, 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 and just work out. Look, a lot of us, however, after reading the book, you're looking at the book and you're thinking, okay, so what is my purpose? How do I discover what my purpose is? What do I do? Who do I talk to? This was something that I genuinely struggled with for a very long time. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I knew the things that I wanted to do with my life. The thing was, I just did not know how to operate within my purpose. I did not know how to start. I did not know what to use. I did not know what vehicle to use to do the things that I thought I needed to do. And also I was very, very hesitant and very, very scared. I think it's very hard on most people to fail at things that they don't care about. It's even harder to fail at the thing that you're very passionate about, and which is why a lot of people do not even attempt to operate within their purpose. There's so many ways to define what your purpose is, but for me, I simply define it as your calling to serve. I think that every single one of us has been called by God, if you believe in God, by the universe, if you believe in that. It's a calling that was put in you by God for you to be able to serve others. I think that your calling is not self-centered. Your calling is not about you. Unfortunately, your calling is bigger than you, and it is for the purpose of other people, the purpose to serve other people, which is why I think a lot of the times it's extremely hard to operate in our purpose. It's extremely hard to even accept and honor our purpose, simply because it's not self-serving. The thing about your purpose is your purpose will actually guide you. Your purpose will protect you. Your purpose will change your perspective, particularly when you're facing situations. The thing about it is, when you do not understand why you're alive, when you do not understand what your calling is, everything to you is going to be confusing. It's like trying to go on a road trip without a map and a destination. Purpose helps you to identify your destination at that time or within that season. Your purpose will help shape your understanding of your environment, your understanding of who you are, your understanding of your future, your understanding of your current situation. If you do not have purpose, you're going to struggle being able to tell what season you're in and what you're supposed to be doing within your life. You will also most likely struggle to even understand the gifts that you have or the talents that you have. Very important for us to move away from the standard that society has presented to us about what gifts are important and what gifts are not important. A lot of people actually sit on their gifts that they know they have, simply because society has told them that those gifts are not preferable or those gifts are not important enough. Whatever gift that you have, whatever gift, even if it's as simple as a gift to make people laugh, you do not have to become a comedian for you to be able to use that gift, but you can actually use that gift in your day-to-day life. Discovering your purpose is not about having big dreams. Discovering your purpose is not about wanting to do big things in your life. It's not even about wanting to be an Oprah or wanting to be a Mandela or wanting to be somebody grand out there. You can discover your purpose and do things on a smaller scale if that's what makes you happy, because at the end of the day, not all of us want the big dreams. Not all of us want to be big personalities. So discovering your purpose has nothing to do with the dreams that come with it. Purpose and gifts are not reserved for the 10% who want to be big. It's not reserved for people who want to do Hollywood. It's not reserved for people that want to make a lot of money in life. You can use your purpose within the small scale of whatever you're doing. You can use your gifts for your family. You can use your gifts for your friends. It's literally about knowing what you want, knowing who you are called to be, and making sure that you are trying by all means to align yourself to your purpose so you can live a fulfilling life. Saying earlier, sometimes our gifts are rooted in things that we love. They're rooted in things that give us joy. So naturally, we love doing it. We love sharing them. But then sometimes our gifts and our purpose is deeply rooted in things that bring us shame, things that hurt us, and things that bring us pain, which is why a lot of people sometimes take longer to actually operate within their purpose. Not because they don't want to, but because they know that if they unlock this purpose, they're also going to shine light on the pain pain that they have had, or they're going to shine light on the things that they're very ashamed of. A lot of people will then struggle to operate within their purpose because they understand and they know that if they operate within their purpose, or if they allow themselves to embrace their purpose and to honor their purpose, they are eventually going to have to shine light on the darkness that is within them. The thing about it, though, that you have to understand is pain and suffering is a gift in itself, a very, very precious gift. I know that it hurts, and I know that it sucks to have to shine light on your darkness, but you also have to understand your darkness, the parts of you that are very dark, are also the parts of you that will teach you the most about yourself. So if you're going to shut out that part of you, then you're not going to be able to operate within your purpose. And this is something that I talk from experience. For a very long time, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew the kind of work that I wanted to be involved with. I knew what I wanted my life to look like. But at the same time, I was very, very scared that me operating within my purpose, me using my gifts, would also mean me having to use the gifts that were coming from a dark place. So for a very long time, I wasn't willing to embrace my purpose. I wasn't willing to even operate within it. I shut out my purpose for a very long time, and that then later on contributed to me being unhappy, which later on translated into me being even more depressed, me feeling like a failure, me feeling like I was cornered by life. So a lot of us struggle like that, and that's the thing about not operating within your purpose, which is why I wanted to start this segment, because this is something that will impact our mental health. This is something that will impact our well-being as people. This is something that even impacts your success. A lot of people are doing work that they're not happy with, and how can you succeed at something that you're not happy with? You have to even understand, even as a Christian, even as somebody that believes in the law of attraction, you are not going to attract what you don't want. You're not going to attract what you're not asking for. And a lot of people will sit there and think, well, why am I not successful? Why am I not happy? Why am I not fulfilled in the things that I'm doing? Well, you're not fulfilled because you're shutting out your purpose. You're not fulfilled because you're not operating within your purpose. One of those things that, yes, you might want to ignore, but at the same time, ignoring your purpose or shutting out your purpose has greater consequences. If you're not operating within your purpose, it means that you're not using your gifts. And when you're not using the things that you naturally have and naturally have to offer, it means that you're always going to feel unfulfilled. And if you're not feeling fulfilled with your life, then a lot of the times it leads to unhappiness. And if you're unhappy, that affects literally everything. That affects how much money you make, that affects the people that you're around, that affects the kind of relationships that you have. So operating in your purpose is very important for that reason, because it aids to our well-being. What also tends to happen sometimes when you feel like you're struggling to live within your purpose, or you're struggling to get a grip of your purpose, is that a lot of us live from the outside in instead of living from the inside out. What that means is a lot of people look and seek outside themselves for things to make them happy, or things to fulfill them, or things to make them feel as though they're contributing their purpose. Your purpose is something that you were born with. So no one else can discover that for you. No one else can show you what your purpose is. People can point out, but people don't even have the full idea or the full knowledge of what your purpose is. You always hear only you know what you're capable of, and that's very true. No one else has an understanding of who you can be. No one else gets the full picture of who Rubidzai or Dreamadzengi can be. They can get glimpses because they're already occupied with their own pictures of who they are. A lot of the times people go outside themselves to seek for things that are already within them. So it's very important that you live your life inside out instead of living your life outside in, simply because everything that you're seeking is within you. Society has preconditioned us to seek for things from the outside. We seek for validation from outside. We seek for support from the outside. We seek for things on the outside instead of actually focusing on ourselves. You don't need somebody else to validate your purpose, because your purpose is already validated by it existing within you. One of the things that also stops us from living within our purpose or operating or finding our purpose is that sometimes a lot of us lack trust that your purpose will provide for you. We live in a society where you're taught to go look for jobs. You're taught to see money first. You to seek a career instead of you seeking a calling, or instead of you discovering your calling, right? A lot of people genuinely believe that there's no gain in you following your purpose or you following your calling, and yet there is. A lot of the people that you see who are successful, who are doing mind-blowing things, the person who came up with the light bulb, the person who invented the airplane, the person who I don't know, whatever inventions you can think of. Whatever inventions you can think of, those are people that followed their calling. Those are people, you think that that was something forced on them? Absolutely not. That was a calling that was within them to discover that thing, and they followed their purpose and became successful out of it. There are literally people right now that get money to sing. Can you think of how wild that is? You know, of course we see these people and we see them as big personalities and we think what they're doing is so grand. But when you really think about it at a smaller scale, all Beyonce does is sing. Really, that's what her purpose is, and she did that. Obviously she's then added to her craft, because that's a different thing. Your craft is different from your gift, but the basics of what Beyonce's gift is that she's a singer. She sings, and that's what she did. She followed her purpose, she followed her passion, she followed her gift, and that gift opened up provision for her. Having said that though, it's not every gift. You don't always have to exchange your gift for money, because that also takes away the element of it being a gift. So there are going to be people, or you can, if you want to, use your gifts and just decide not to make money out of it. That is your choice. However, if you're looking to turn your gifts into something that is profitable, something that is going to make you money, do not let anyone convince you that you're not capable of doing that. It's an issue of how you're going to work on your craft and how you're going to, and what vehicle you're going to use your gift to make money for you. Otherwise, there is so much money to be made. Everyone that you know, people like Steve Harvey makes the money that he makes because he's great at talking. Writers, Brene Brown makes money because she simply wrote. She didn't make all that money from being a psychologist. She made all that money from writing, from using her gift. So there's definitely money to be made from gifts, and a lot of the times we don't want to operate within our purpose because we are so fearful of not checking boxes. We're so fearful of not having a degree. We're so fearful of not having the standard job. We don't want to use our gifts for that. But at the end of the day, there are people who are making money out of the things that you're simply refusing to do. So really, there is money to be made out of the gifts that we have. You just have to find the right vehicle, the right channel to make the money that you want to make. Another thing that really stops people from operating within their purpose or using their gifts is that a lot of people are afraid of silence. They're afraid of standing alone. And you have to understand this. If you want to use your gift, you have to understand that there's going to be a time where it's just going to have to be you. Because at the end of the day, this gift wasn't given to everyone. This gift was given to you. This purpose was given to you. This vision was given to you. So not everyone is going to stand with you, because mind you, people are also busy operating within their own purposes. So sometimes people don't have time to stand with you and cheer you on. And I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people do not do these things, because you're so terrified of being the only one doing this thing. You're so terrified of being the only one supporting and believing in this dream. At the end of the day, people cannot always support you because they don't see what you see. Whatever it is that you trust in, if you trust in that thing, if you trust in that guidance, then there's no reason why you should be wanting to stand with a million other people backing you up. Anyone that you know who has been successful, anyone that you admire, anyone that you think, oh my God, they have done so well in their lives, if you ask them, a lot of them had to face standing alone. But that is something that a lot of us are so fearful of. We don't want to stand alone. We'd rather stand in a crowd doing nothing, being absolutely useless within that crowd. And I use useless because really, when you're not operating within your purpose, sometimes you're actually not adding anything. You're not adding anything into the room that you're in. Obviously not to say that you as an individual are useless, but then because you're not adding anything of value. If you're in a room where you're not adding anything of value, then your presence in that room is useless. And that's the truth at the end of the day. Most of us would rather stay in those rooms because we're so scared of sitting alone. We're so scared of standing alone that would rather stay in places where we're no longer valuable, where we're no longer contributing anything of value. It's one of the reasons why people don't operate in their purpose is simply that. You're terrified of standing alone. And you know that once you begin to operate in your purpose, your relationship dynamics are going to change. You know that there's the potential of people leaving you. You know that there's the potential of friends leaving, and you would rather remain comfortable. And that's the problem. You'd rather remain comfortable instead of you choosing to let go of things that are not meant for you and standing alone and operating within your purpose. At the end of the day, being comfortable is nice, but being comfortable has never done anything for anybody. Being comfortable has never moved mountains. Being comfortable and being sitting pretty has never brought bank for anybody, has never broken generational curses for anybody. You need to understand that if you want to operate in your purpose, A lot of us know what our purpose is. A lot of us know what is meant for us, but a lot of us are also sleeping on ourselves because it's comfortable. A lot of us are choosing on a daily basis to wake up and go to work that we hate. We're choosing to be in places that we're not contributing any value, and it's the worst thing that you can ever do to yourself. It's robbing yourself of a future. And if anything, not operating in your purpose is absolutely selfish, because there are people that are dependent on you to do what you need to do so they can also do what they need to do. I said in the beginning, your purpose is not just about you, it's bigger than you, and it's about you serving other people. So you need to think about it that way. You need to think about it as, I am doing a disservice to the people that God meant me for, because if I'm not operating in my purpose, I'm not going to be able to influence my partner. I'm not going to be able to influence my friends. I'm not going to be able to influence my generation and the generation that is going to come through me to do the same thing. I hope you guys, as you guys can see, I'm very passionate about this and I'm starting to get a little bit heated. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys have a good week. I'll see you on Wednesday. God bless.